Hey there everyone, I hope you're having a magical day today. Today I wanted to go over a few thoughts that I have just as I'm beginning the planning stages for the Disney cruise. That way you can follow the whole thing with me as my family and I try to figure out what we want to do and maybe even some lessons learned for the future and a few things I'm really happy I have and have learned about since doing a little bit of researching. Now the Disney cruise that we'll be going on together is the 4-day, 3-night adventure on the Disney Dream. We're going to officially sail away on the 3rd of November and then we'll be returning back to our temporary housing location on November 3rd. Now in advance of that, we'll be going on a land adventure. We'll be arriving at Walt Disney World on October 31st, Halloween night, and then we'll be taking off a few days later on the cruise. But at least we have a few days in advance to experience Caribbean Beach and a little bit of Disney World. Now when we decided to book a land and sea adventure, we were thinking about all the fun we were going to have, but we didn't think about the transfers that we'd need from the airport to the resort and then to the cruise ship. Thankfully, Disney's already thinking ahead of me and they already had the transfer system in place. I just had to make one phone call and they said, okay, you're going to be leaving the Caribbean Beach Resort on the 3rd, the morning of the 3rd, and then you're going to be arriving at the port the same day. I was told that I would get a note on my door the night before, and early in the morning someone would come by, grab our bags, and then we could enjoy a little bit of the day, and then we'd be going on another bus to get to Port Canaveral. Now that was a great plan and we were about to do that, but my mom, being a great planner that she is, decided that it might be best for us to go back to the airport and then to the port to get on the ship. Now the reason we decided to do that is because there is one member of my family who's a little bit older and is in a wheelchair. You will not see that person on camera, but they wanted to get there a little bit earlier and we wanted to accommodate that person as best as possible. So we're all going to be going back to the airport on Disney's Magical Express, transferring to the Disney Cruise Line. It's another step, but it'll make everyone extra happy and extra comfortable, so it's going to be great. Now something I'm learning about now that we didn't know about when we were booking the cruise was the fact that if we had 3 rooms right next to each other, the Disney crew could actually take down those medians between each of the rooms and give us one like 3 times as large veranda. I mean, that would be a massive area, but it would be so cool. So we were thinking about that for the future cruises we go on. Speaking of verandas, we're really excited to have the extended veranda. We should be able to get a very cool view of the ocean anytime we want. I think that there are a few members of my family who are going to spend a lot of time just sitting back and relaxing. You know me, and probably my sister and mom and probably brother will be running all over the place, seeing everything there is to experience, or as much as we can, on the cruise. Speaking of that, there are so many things to do, there's no way we're going to be able to see it all. I'm obviously going to have to go on another cruise, and the thing is, as I'm starting to plan more of those details, I can feel my passion for it. Oh my gosh, I'm excited, and what about this and that, and the game show and the shows, and all these different treats. Like, there are all sorts of things that I'm not going to be able to experience because it's only the one cruise. So I'm already thinking ahead. I'm like, all right, we're going to need another cruise, and this brings me to another point. When you're on a cruise, I'm learning if you are on a cruise and you try to book another cruise, it can actually be less expensive to do it that way. So I will definitely be asking while I'm on the cruise if I'm enjoying myself, which I probably 100% will, but we'll see, and ask them about the prices. Now something else that I learned about that's really important is for this kind of cruise, the 4-day, 3-night Bahamas and Castaway Cay cruise, you can use your passport or you can use your birth certificate for identification. So if you don't have a passport for this style cruise only, there are other cruises where you do need a passport, but for this type of cruise, you do not need your passport if you don't have one. There are several members of my family who do not have their passport. I must have called 3 or 4 times just to triple check. I wanted to be 100% certain that if someone goes to the Disney Cruise Line with their birth certificate and a federal photo ID and says, this is really me, will that work? And apparently it will. Now when I was on the phone with Disney Cruise Line, they told me that you actually can even have a copy of the birth certificate, not even certified copy, just a photocopy of the birth certificate, and you can use that as your ID. You don't have to bring your official birth certificate. I was amazed by that news, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes when we check in for our adventure. Now once you get on the Dream, I believe, and I should be able to clear this up for you once I'm there, you get a special ID with your name and information, and you have to have it with you at all times. So a very kind friend, Dave, sent this to me, clearly a seasoned Disney cruise traveler, where I'll be able to keep this with me at all times and can put my passport or birth certificate away, and then I'll just be able to carry this around. From what I've heard, having your own lanyard is essential when it comes to cruising. So Dave, thank you again. Now a few of my friends told me, Michael, every so often you get sea lice stings at Castaway Cay, like baby jellyfish or little jellyfish that will irritate your skin just a little bit. Nothing to be concerned about, but to prevent irritation, you recommended the Sea-Safe Sunscreen and Jellyfish Sting Prevention Lotion. Now, I'm going to link this lotion in the description of this video so you can find it, but apparently this is supposed to help prevent jellyfish and sea lice sting, so I'll let you know how it works. I wanted to take a moment to thank you for your wonderful suggestions, whether it's sea lice or sending me wonderful gifts for the lanyard and the pouch that I'm going to need. I really appreciate it. Don't know what I would do without you. Now, on the Disney Dream, there are special areas that are just for kids and some that are just for teens, and there are other areas that are just for adults. It all looks like a lot of fun to me. I cannot wait to experience everything that the Disney Dream has to offer. Now, that being said, you might be thinking, Michael, you're not a teenager anymore. You're not a kid. You know, these areas are only meant for children or teenagers. How are you going to go in there and experience it? Thanks to some great research by my sister and my mom, apparently we're going to be able to go in during some open houses and experience some of these areas together. It's going to be great. That way, even though it is for children and it's for teens, we'll still be able to see it together. So it's going to be great to experience some of these things we wouldn't otherwise be able to see. Now, there are special restaurants on the Disney cruise like Palo and Remy, which sound fantastic. They really do. But for the first ever Disney cruise with the whole family, we're not going to be going to either of those restaurants or special activities. We're just going to be experiencing the first ever Disney cruise and just take in as much of the magic as we can. That being said, I clearly need to try another Disney cruise after this to try some of those great restaurants that you recommended. I've heard amazing things. Now, when we first arrive, we're probably going to be hungry, and my mom is already thinking ahead, trying to plan it all out. She's definitely the chief planner. You know, a lot of us like to, get some initial plans, but my mom's definitely on top when it comes to those plans. So we're thinking about going to Cabanas, but apparently you can also go to one of those other restaurants that should be open. That's what I've heard. They should be open. I don't know for sure. I will let you know. We're going to experience it together in the vlog. Now, I did purchase that photo package thanks to your wonderful suggestions. Thank you so much. Apparently there are a lot of great photos that are going to be taken with characters or as you step on board or throughout the ship. I cannot wait to see them. You know how much I love Disney pictures and reliving those memories. Let me tell you, right off the bat, I can tell this cruise is going to be too short. I mean, right off the bat, I'm saying that. It's too short as it is, but that's okay. We're going to have a magical time. I'm going to take in every moment. Now, several friends have asked me, Michael, are you going to be live streaming when you're on the Disney cruise? Unfortunately, I will not be able to live stream or even post anything for 4 days. I will be completely disconnected for those 4 days. In that time, I'll be experiencing the magic with family and vlogging the entire adventure. I cannot wait to come back, make them, and share it all with you on the channel. Now, I know I'm probably forgetting a few things, and if you can think of anything special not to miss on the first ever Disney cruise, please let me know in the comments below. I really would appreciate your help. Now, I made this video just to give you an idea of some of the thoughts that are going through my head right now for our first ever Disney cruise. I cannot wait to share it all with you. I am feeling those waves of Disney like you wouldn't believe. It's just incredible. It's an incredible feeling to be going for the very first time and with the entire family. I'm beyond excited, glad to bring you with me. Thank you so much for being a part of the magic with me. Only a few days away before we see those literal waves of Disney. Until next time, have a magical day.